Tomorrow, the 23rd of April, 2026, the cosmic architecture engineers an absolutely explosive, profoundly shocking, and entirely irreversible collision between the heavy, concrete reality of your material existence and the blinding, violent lightning of sudden revolution. We are being violently torn away from the slow, methodical, and predictable rhythms of the Earth, and thrust directly into a high-voltage atmosphere defined by sudden awakenings, shattered paradigms, and the absolute destruction of stagnant comfort. Do not wake up tomorrow expecting business as usual, polite stability, or a gentle progression of your carefully laid plans. Instead, prepare your physical vessel and your psychological framework for an exceptionally rare and highly volatile celestial detonation. Venus, the planetary sovereign of wealth, tangible value, and magnetic attraction, forcefully collides in an exact, inescapable conjunction with Uranus, the Great Awakener, the god of lightning, chaos, and radical liberation. What makes this specific energetic signature so immensely heavy and profoundly disruptive is that this lightning strike occurs entirely within the dense, immovable, and highly resistant Earth of Taurus. This is not a theoretical or emotional awakening. This is an astrological signature of sudden, undeniable physical and financial earthquakes. To successfully survive and completely dominate the highly electrified currents of tomorrow without being shattered by the shockwaves, we must meticulously dissect exactly what this energetic detonation demands of your wealth, your capacity for radical self-change, and your absolute survival in the modern world. Let us begin by understanding the sheer, terrifying majesty and the aggressive contradiction of the forces at play on April 23. Taurus is the ultimate cosmic vault, the archetype of the master builder, demanding sensory proof, agonizing patience, and a ruthless commitment to permanent, immovable foundations. It is the heaviest, most resistant energy in the zodiac. Inside this vault sits Venus, demanding comfort, predictable luxury, and secure wealth. However, tomorrow, the highly erratic, revolutionary, and deeply unstable planet Uranus violently crashes into Venus within this very same locked room. Uranus is the energy of the sudden lightning bolt, the earthquake, the brilliant, unpredictable genius that completely shatters outdated structures in a fraction of a second. When these two opposing archetypes violently merge, the result is the absolute destruction of false security. It is the sudden, explosive cracking of the concrete floor beneath your feet. The universe is intentionally sending a massive, high-voltage electrical current directly into the heaviest, most stagnant areas of your life, demanding immediate, radical, and unapologetic modernization. The absolute, most critical, and profoundly explosive focal point of this entire energetic matrix is the severe, inescapable crisis of stagnant comfort that it directly triggers deep within the architecture of your own mind. The razor-sharp, violently unpredictable electricity of Uranus will utterly and violently blow away any comforting, comfortable routines you have been desperately clinging to out of fear of change. Tomorrow, you are categorically not allowed to hide behind polite, boring safety. You are forcefully mandated to look directly at the cold, unvarnished, and brutal facts of your own complacency. You will feel the intense, overwhelming sensation of an immense, deeply frustrating internal pressure cooker instantly exploding. The heavy, leaden gravity of your past decisions will suddenly feel suffocating. You may wake up feeling a terrifying, almost paralyzing sense of urgency to completely break free, to quit the stable job, to end the predictable relationship, or to radically alter your entire aesthetic and value system in a single, impulsive stroke. However, you absolutely must intimately understand that this deeply agonizing, highly electric friction is entirely and perfectly intentional. The universe is forcefully and relentlessly interrogating you. Is your supposed stability actually keeping you safe, or is it just a comfortable, heavy prison actively suffocating your ultimate potential? The radical, fundamental self-change demanded by the heavy gravity of the 23rd of April 2026 is the permanent transition from the archetype of the fearful, stagnant hoarder to the immensely powerful archetype of the liberated sovereign innovator. You must take the raw, explosive electrical energy of Uranus and willingly submit it entirely to the rigorous, uncompromising, but now modernized blueprints of Taurus. When we turn our unwavering strategic gaze toward the sacred architecture of your wealth, your expanding financial empire, and the ultimate, long-term trajectory of your career, the highly volatile alignment of April 23 dictates an atmosphere of ruthless financial revolution and extreme, sudden strategic pivots. You must deeply and immediately understand that wealth generated under the rapidly shifting, highly electrified influence of a Venus and Uranus conjunction in Taurus absolutely does not come from traditional, slow, or conservative investments. Money tomorrow responds exclusively to the high-frequency vibration of radical innovation, sudden technological adoption, and the terrifyingly brave ability to completely detach from outdated financial models. If you have been desperately clinging to a dying industry or a safe, unfulfilling paycheck, tomorrow will harshly and violently shatter that deceptive illusion directly in your face. The cosmos is unapologetically demanding that you completely strip away the comforting reliance on the way things used to be. Instead, you are being forced to stand up, adapt with terrifying speed, and face the cold, concrete reality of a suddenly changed marketplace. True financial sovereignty now requires a mind of iron and the adaptable reflexes of a master strategist. This is an incredibly powerful, highly explosive day for launching wildly innovative products, executing brilliant, unconventional marketing campaigns, or forcefully demanding a radical restructuring of your compensation. However, the energy of tomorrow fiercely destroys the individual who panics under sudden financial shifts. You must use the chaotic power of Uranus to violently cut away dead weight and draft a new, impenetrable, and logically flawless blueprint for your financial future. You must demand ultimate respect in the marketplace, not through loud emotional arrogance, but through the terrifying silent confidence of someone who is always one step ahead of the earthquake. Regarding the intricate, deeply sensitive machinery of your physical body and your energetic health, the celestial events of the 23rd of April 2026 issue a severe, inescapable warning regarding the critical management of your central nervous system and the extreme danger of electrical burnout crashing into heavy physical resistance. The physical vessel is going to bear the direct, punishing brunt of this cosmic lightning strike. Taurus categorically rules the throat, the neck, the vocal cords, and the thyroid, demanding slow, consistent nourishment and physical peace. Uranus rules the vast, incredibly fragile electrical wiring of the entire nervous system, demanding rapid movement and constant electrical firing. When these forces violently collide, the internal biological pressure can easily and rapidly manifest as severe, crippling anxiety, sudden and agonizing tension in the neck and shoulders, electric shocks of nerve pain, or a profound, highly agitated sense of physical restlessness that directly contradicts your desire for stillness. You may feel as though your body is physically buzzing, completely unable to shut down or find comfort. You absolutely cannot passively ignore this specific, high-frequency energetic signature. The absolute best and only way to manage your physical health tomorrow is through highly disciplined, strictly regulated, and intentionally focused somatic grounding. You must consciously command your nervous system to release the frantic, electric speed of Uranus into the heavy earth of Taurus. You must aggressively hydrate your system, avoid excessive caffeine which will only forcefully accelerate the destruction of your nervous system, and prioritize protecting your physical posture. Retreat instantly into physical isolation, place your bare feet directly onto the raw soil, and force the chaotic electricity down into the cold, stabilizing ground. To completely dominate and harness the overwhelming, hyperkinetic power of the 23rd of April 2026, you must forcefully implement a highly tactical, rigidly structured timeline that turns this oppressive, chaotic cosmic weather into your ultimate, undeniable strategic advantage. Action tomorrow must be incredibly fast, blindingly brilliant, but relentlessly grounded in material reality. When you wake up, you face your very first and most dangerous test. Do not, under any circumstances, allow yourself to immediately react to sudden news, unexpected messages, or shocking financial shifts. Rise immediately with the terrifying, cold precision of an elite operative. Your morning must be defined by strict, unyielding, and absolute emotional detachment. Do not allow the chaotic, electrifying thoughts of the external world to pollute your pristine mental architecture. Spend the first 30 minutes of your day in absolute physical stillness, bracing your internal foundations for the shockwaves. As you move into the core, highly active working hours of the afternoon, the energetic frequency of the conjunction will reach its most intensely pressurized, highly volatile peak. You will inevitably face sudden disruptions, broken contracts, unexpected technological failures, or individuals who act highly erratically. When you are hit by this overwhelming wave of instability tomorrow, you absolutely must not react with scattered, anxious, or highly emotional panic. You must react with the cold, dead-eyed, and terrifyingly sharp calculation of a master chess player. Analyze the sudden changes, entirely detach your personal feelings from the disruption, and systematically capitalize on the chaos to advance your own sovereign agenda. By the time the evening finally arrives, the profound, vibrating exhaustion of processing this massive cosmic electrical storm will settle deep into your central nervous system. Your absolute, non-negotiable directive for the night is severe cognitive shutdown and heavy physical recovery. Disconnect entirely and without exception from all digital communication. Create a physical, impenetrable sanctuary of complete silence and heavy blankets. Go to sleep with the solemn, immensely powerful understanding that by refusing to be shattered by the lightning, you have fundamentally and permanently upgraded your internal operating system. While the monumental, highly volatile gravity of this cosmic transition undeniably agitates, scatters, and reshapes the material architecture of every single individual on Earth, the sacred geometry of the cosmos directs the absolute maximum, highly concentrated intensity of this alignment toward 3 specific zodiac signs. For these 3 distinct archetypes, the 23rd of April, 2026, is not just a highly disruptive day, it is a profound, inescapable evolutionary choke point, a strict, mandatory rite of passage that will permanently and violently alter the entire trajectory of their material lives. The very first and most profoundly impacted sign of this entire celestial convergence is, without a single doubt, Taurus. Because this exact, explosive conjunction is detonating directly inside your own physical and energetic domain, you are bearing the absolute, undeniable epicenter of this cosmic lightning strike, Taurus. Tomorrow is not just another comfortably predictable day, it is a brutal, inescapable crucible of immense, unavoidable physical and material awakening. By your inherent astrological nature, you are flawlessly built to endure, to stabilize, and to resist change at all costs. But tomorrow, the universe is forcefully and aggressively detonating the very foundations of the cage you have built for yourself. You will feel an overwhelming, suffocating, and terrifying pressure to finally stop conforming, to stop clinging to outdated security, and to radically, unapologetically reinvent your entire identity and value system. The universe is forcefully stripping away any remaining tolerance you possess for your own stagnation. Under this massive electrical surge, you may experience a sudden, brutal, and profoundly sobering realization regarding your appearance, your wealth, or your closest relationships. Do not fear this devastating, entirely necessary realization. The harsh, cold truth revealed to you tomorrow, Taurus, is the ultimate, undeniable key to your absolute sovereignty. Violently and unapologetically reject any situation, contract, or relationship that demands you remain small and stagnant. Step fully, boldly, and with terrifying innovation into your role as the unquestioned, brilliant architect of your own radically updated reality. The second zodiac sign thrusts directly, violently, and without a single shred of cosmic mercy into the cold, highly electrified, and profoundly transformative fires of the 23rd of April 2026 is Scorpio. With this massive, explosive planetary conjunction occurring directly across the vast sky in your exact astrological sector of intimate partnerships, binding legal contracts, and openly declared enemies, your entire deeply ingrained relational operating system is going to violently clash with this erratic frequency, forcefully mandating a severe, immediate, and inescapable interpersonal reboot. You are the undisputed, masterful sign of deep, impenetrable emotional control, intense psychological merging, and absolute power dynamics. You operate in the shadows, ensuring your intense vulnerability is heavily guarded by a fortress of strategic dominance. Tomorrow, however, the universe is forcefully and unapologetically throwing a massive, chaotic, and completely unpredictable lightning bolt directly into the very heart of your closest, most guarded alliances. You are going to feel an intense, vibrating, and almost agonizing physiological level of internal anxiety as your desperate, entirely natural desire to meticulously control your partners is suddenly met with their shocking, wildly unpredictable, and highly rebellious behavior. Scorpio, the universe is aggressively demanding that you finally and permanently learn the agonizing evolutionary lesson of true relational liberation. You can no longer safely rely on sheer, brute force emotional manipulation or suffocating control to stubbornly maintain your interpersonal bonds. If you foolishly choose to throw a deeply jealous, heavily possessive tantrum tomorrow, or if you frantically try to tighten your suffocating grip to control a partner actively demanding freedom, you will only completely destroy the foundational bedrock of the relationship. You are being cosmically called to forcefully mature your inner, hidden power dynamics into higher sovereignty. You absolutely must learn the agonizing, uncomfortable art of completely letting go of your ironclad control. Sit quietly and stoically in the highly uncomfortable tension of sudden relational shifts, fiercely demanding ultimate truth, absolute transparency, and raw authenticity over any form of toxic, suffocating, and ultimately false loyalty. The third sign, destined for a truly monumental, entirely reality-shattering, and deeply transformative experience on this specific, highly volatile day, is Aquarius. With your immensely powerful ruling planet, the highly erratic, revolutionary Uranus, directly and violently colliding with Venus at the very foundational root of your astrological chart, you are standing unavoidably in the absolute crosshairs of a profound, inescapable psychological awakening regarding your physical home, your bloodline family dynamics, and your deepest psychological bedrock. You are the undisputed sign of the brilliantly detached visionary, the cold intellectual rebel who naturally exists in the broad, expansive, and highly theoretical realms of the distant future. You usually survive the heavy, boring harshness and messy emotional entanglement of the immediate physical world by expertly detaching your mind from your vulnerable emotional roots, floating safely above the fray. However, on the 23rd of April 2026, the sharp, relentless, highly charged, and brutally physical electricity of Uranus, detonating inside the dense earth of Taurus, is forcefully, violently, and unapologetically invading your fiercely guarded, private, domestic airspace. Tomorrow, the comfortable, highly detached, and heavily intellectual fog you have been quietly hiding within for years is going to be violently, permanently burned away by this hyper-physical, inescapably heavy cosmic convergence. Sudden, radically unexpected, and highly disruptive events regarding your immediate physical living situation, deeply shocking revelations hidden deep within your core family dynamics, or a violent, sudden disruption to your ultimate foundational security will forcefully demand your immediate, unyielding, and completely undivided attention. The absolute worst, most utterly destructive thing you can possibly do tomorrow, Aquarius, is to foolishly attempt to arrogantly intellectualize your way out of the cold, hard physical facts, to cold-heartedly detach from the immediate chaos, or to abandon your heavy, grounded responsibilities in favor of a theoretical escape. The universe is aggressively, relentlessly demanding that you forcefully ground your vast, expansive cosmic vision directly into the sharp, messy, heavy, and absolutely undeniable dirt of your own physical home. You absolutely must purposefully use this shocking, high-voltage energy to completely restructure your foundational security, meticulously ensuring your brilliant future is permanently built upon a radically authentic, structurally flawless, and totally unbreakable physical base. In ultimate, absolute, and entirely irrevocable final conclusion, the looming dawn of tomorrow, the 23rd of April 2026, stands tall and undeniable as a day of truly monumental, earth-shattering material friction, an era-defining moment of intense, inescapable psychological and financial revelation, and a deeply necessary, undeniably brutal structural revolution. This specific 24-hour period is categorically not merely a passing, highly erratic astrological phase, nor is it a temporary atmospheric disturbance that you can simply wait out by hiding quietly in the familiar shadows of your current existence. It is an unavoidable, highly deliberate, and violently forceful evolutionary choke point designed specifically, intentionally, and ruthlessly by the unforgiving cosmos to test the very core, the absolute bedrock, and the foundational integrity of your entire material, physical, and psychological architecture. It is a defining, historical day where the incredibly stagnant, dangerously comfortable, and entirely numb human mind is forcefully, violently, and unapologetically required to bow down and submit entirely to the sharp, undeniable, and highly electrifying cosmic laws of radical, instantaneous change. You are actively, consciously stepping directly into a highly pressurized, completely inescapable cosmic crucible that demands absolutely nothing less than your absolute, unvarnished, terrifyingly raw, and completely uncompromising authenticity. It is a precise, entirely unforgiving moment in planetary time where all the comfortable, intoxicating illusions you have painstakingly built over the years, the polite fictions you have used to survive, and the easily manipulated financial lies you have told yourself to falsely justify your lack of massive success are violently, permanently shattered by the heavy, unforgiving hammer of revolutionary reality. The universe is forcefully, rigorously, and without a single shred of mercy, testing the foundational, structural integrity of your wealth. It is deeply interrogating your actual practical ability to adapt to blinding, chaotic speed, aggressively verifying the measurable validity of every physical structure you desperately cling to for safety. You absolutely cannot escape this immense, crushing demand for sudden, radical evolution, nor should you attempt to run, hide, or cower from it in the dead arms of mindless tradition. Running away into the dusty archives of your past is the ultimate tactic of the profoundly weak, and the high-velocity cosmic lightning of tomorrow will swiftly, effortlessly destroy anyone who tries to evade their non-negotiable evolutionary responsibilities. You must deeply, solemnly remember that it is only this exact, agonizing, and relentlessly sustained level of extreme electrical and material friction that possesses the raw, unparalleled power to force a stagnant life to crystallize into a permanent, unshakable instrument of pure genius. By aggressively, fearlessly applying an extreme, unwavering level of calculated risk to your daily actions, you begin to truly master the fast, unpredictable rhythm of modern wealth creation. Maintain an intense, fearless, and relentless focus on constructing a completely new reality based exclusively on absolute financial, personal, and radical truth. Refuse to accept anything less than magnificent reality. By refusing to compromise your rigorous standards, and by strictly protecting your deeply sensitive nervous system, you can expertly utilize this volatile planetary alignment to fundamentally secure your permanent legacy. This is the exact, defining moment you fully transition from a fearful hoarder into a silent, terrifyingly competent architect of undeniable reality. Walk boldly, stoically, and with ironclad discipline into the unquestioned mastery of your own unshakable empire. The unforgiving cosmos demands nothing less than your highest physical manifestation tomorrow, and it is entirely within your sovereign power to build it.